Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to Shifting Lanes 2. My name's Chad, and today we are talking about engine swaps. Let's face it, we all have a dream swap, and one of the best motors for swaps is the K-Series motor from Honda. They rev to the moon. You can get 300 plus horsepower out of them NA, or you can add some boost and get pretty much anything you want. 500 isn't that far out of the realm on stock internals. But on the other side of the equation, you have a Corvette, a paragon of American, well, it's the American sports car, right? It is the American sports car. And it has a lazy pushrod LS V8 that Chevy has just stuck to, and it is an amazing engine. But what happens when you combine the two? Corvette? Well, then you get people lighting their torches, sharpening their pitchforks, and it's just, most people would only do it for a meme build. What if you're building a drag car? What if you want to go 7 seconds? Well, a K-swapped Corvette isn't exactly the first thing on the list, and yet someone built it. That's what we're going to talk about. We talked about it on the stream. If you want to watch a stream, every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our Facebook page and on the Shifting Lanes Live YouTube page. If you like the video, guys, give us a thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you get all of our content as we release it. But that's it for me. Enjoy the video, and I'll catch you next time. So, I feel like this is a primary opportunity for us to kind of segue from embarrassing moments in my motoring history. We'll get to how Greg almost killed someone leaving a bagel shop. Or no, I'm sorry, not killed, sorry.
Classic deflection.
Not killed, but, terrified a poor woman leaving our local bagel joint back in the day. We'll touch on that at some point. A lot of us have, thought about potentially getting like a C6 Corvette or something similar, or C7, or even a C8 if you can, because Corvettes offer a huge value for money. The LS family of engines is a legend, and rightfully so. But what if you didn't like the LS? What if you wanted to put in something different? And that brings me to, that would be a K-swapped C6 Corvette convertible. All those wearing New Balances at the moment, I probably should have warned you you're about to be triggered.
Yeah.
But so this is
that. I was gonna say that looks like a Honda S2000, but you zoom out a little bit, and there's a turbo, and then a total body.
It just looks like a Toro lawnmower is shoved in there. It's hysterical. And I get like the Honda lawnmower memes are all over the place, but like, look at that! There's like nothing in there. It's so tiny.
Feels like
there's so many. There's room for at least 6 more turbos in there, and there should be.
You know what that looks like is like when you open up like a case of beer or something like that, and then there's like a bunch of them already missing. It looks like there's at least 2 other engines that belonged in there.
So let me give you some important facts about this car as we continue to judge it mercilessly, as is what you do on the internet. This is actually designed to be a drag racing car. It's the LS. This came with an LS2, so the 6-liter V8, and now has a fully built K24 in it. So we are actually talking about some pretty decent horsepower numbers. Like I said, it's got a power glide behind it, 8-point-inch rear end, solid axle from Ford in the back. The rear transmission obviously was ditched. This has one where it traditionally sits. This engine has 11-to-1 compression, a 67mm turbo, and is going to produce in the neighborhood of 900 wheel horsepower. It made on around 20 plus pounds of boost.
That is.
You know what? I really actually love builds like this, all joking aside, because these builds are hilariously fast and great to watch on YouTube, because that there's nothing. Holy shit. And then like that's how like these Honda motors with these massive turbos work, is you get that old school 80s turbo lag.
Yeah.
And then you just get that like crazy surge, which is why you pre-boost so much before the lights, and just try to get like as much out, like especially if there's like a power glide attached to it. Like it's just silly and it's hysterical. I actually love this. I think it's just great engineering,
I
and
think...
I'm super happy that someone shoved a four banger into a Corvette just to trigger absolutely everybody.
Yeah, I think they tried to trigger. You're right, trigger everyone because they put in a Honda engine into a GM body.
The Ford rear axle is pretty popular among all makes of drag racers, whether it be Chevy, Ford, Dodge. It just happens to be that's one of the strongest rear ends you can put in on it that doesn't cost you everything. And the funny thing is that this motor was just, they had the chassis, they had the motor lying around from a previous build that I think was wrecked or something to that effect. And they're like, well, we have two, let's make something out of it. And that's kind of why I dig it. I'm like, you know, because he's gunning for running in the high 6s, low 7s, plans to do drag week with it. So it's actually, I mean, if this was a Z06, I would
That's
just,
cool.
I'd have a torch lit and a pitchfork sharpened. But it's just a regular C6 and it's a convertible. So why not? Like, this is kind of cool. I thoroughly enjoy something like this.
I'm curious what the weight differential is between the K24 and
That's
the
actually
LS.
really,
Because
For me, it's LS is a pretty light. But it's I'm wagering yes, you'd still save at least 75 to 100 pounds with the 24. At
So-
least.
that's a pretty significant amount of.
so the
Yeah. I mean, you're lopping off half the engine.
So the LS2 weighed
Yeah.
488 pounds. The K24, with the turbo, manifolds, and everything, weighed 318 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So
That's a lot.
those 160-pound savings, if
Yeah.
my math's correct.
Wow.
So
That is
that's a whole
nuts.
person, and like it's coming off of
Yeah.
the front axle, which is, I guess, not really doing anything when you're driving.
More than you'd think, but like you
just for
obviously want
stability,
that
I
weight
guess.
shift to move back for grip. But you obviously,
Yeah.
which apparently C5s and C6s, since they're so similar, they're prone to wheeling. I'm curious with this one because like you remove the V8 weight up front and replace it with a 4-cylinder, but you move the weight of a transmission forward as opposed to being in the back. So like it's kind of interesting. Real quick, Andy, while that where is the comment? Where that VR6T Turbo Civic sounds awesome. I have a Mustang-sized hole in my
amazing.
wallet that needs filling. So,
Also, wait, can we just talk about how Andy is swapping a VR6 into a Civic? And I really want to get I want to get this Ryan Reynolds meme just right. But why?
I mean, why not, man? I mean, if you're like, I mean, I understand you guys aren't as like, don't go to bed at night thinking, I wonder what would be an interesting swap into a slightly less interesting chassis, but the combination would make it so interesting and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, money no object. I'd love to just swap everything into everything.